Hey everyone, it's Will, GamerDad, with another video for you. So if you check your notices, we do have a new notice available. So update 2.14.100, another style Avesta, aka AS Cynthia. Now if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel, I really appreciate it. I also do have a Patreon account for those who want to support me this way. So of course, being that this is the same version that we are on, unfortunately, this will be an in-game update, and so us iOS users or Android users won't be able to get this update a little bit earlier. So unfortunately for my time zone, that'll be 24 hours from now, 7 p.m. West Coast, or PST, so to speak. So anyways, AS Cynthia is hopefully better than her normal style version. Now, unfortunately, her normal style version was useful in the fact that it changed her moves, or her DPS changed elements depending on the zone that's active for elemental zone. And of course, she would be the precursor to units such as RCF and Nakoko. Now her AS form doesn't retain those, the 5-star version of that actually. She still has the 4-star version, but her 5-star AS moves are actually very unique. First of all, she is a slash zone setter, so she pairs up quite well with ES Claude, kind of like, I guess they have a history together. If you do or watch some of the character quests of Cynthia or Claude, you'll be able to find out a little bit more about the history between the two of them. Now that being said, her VC does set slash zone, and if you have her VC Grasta, she can heal upwards of 100% HP while VCing in. So I can definitely think that there will be some uses for that, especially against, for example, some super boss fights or just things like that. Very, very useful in that sense. However, other than that, I mean, everyone else can set slash zone. We do have multiple free units that can also set slash zone, and there is a slash zone Grasta, which is not too difficult at this point for many of you to have gotten it. Now, in terms of her 2 AS moves, she can give max HP increase 1505 turns for herself and only the ally to the right of the user. So, not really sure on the screen whether or not it's the unit on top of Cynthia AS or the one kind of like on the bottom, because as you know, it's kind of like from top to bottom, kind of diagonally from left to right. And so, based on that kind of 3D screen, so to speak. So anyways, we'll have to see which unit it actually is. But that being said, it only gives 1500 to 2 units, which is actually not very useful compared to all of the units. And she can awaken zone. So, you can get awaken slash zone, or if you use other zone units, she can awaken zone for you, which lasts 2 turns as usual. It does also give regen 2000 HP to those 2 units, herself and the ally. Now her main DPS move is a little bit different. Again, it is only a wind type move. It does not change elements. And so I feel that that's a big downfall for Cynthia AS. Not sure if they did that because her normal style was a little bit complicated or just wasn't as powerful as it should be. However, her main DPS is a preemptive, self-damaging 50% damage and a wind slash AoE. And the damage is based on how much she hurts herself. And so when you have 7000 HP, the maximum damage will be hit, whereas it consumes 3500 HP, and you'll do a massive damage modifier on the enemies. And remember that it is a preemptive wind slash AoE, so any enemies who are vulnerable or weak to wind, you're going to end it before the enemy has a chance to attack you. You technically can do that in the AF as well, however, unless you have moves that heal every turn while you're in the AF or every hit while you're in the AF, she's going to do less and less damage. That being said, I mean, there's lots of units that can heal with hits. For example, Nakoko can still hit 3000, and she is a slash unit. And of course, if you're in wind zone, then she'll change to wind, and then everyone can kind of benefit that way. However, like I said, unless you have a dedicated healer, and the fact that you have to increase her HP by quite a bit, a little bit gimmicky in my opinion. All right. So that being said, one thing I am looking forward to is Revival Duel with the Past, they're going to add some new battle simulator or boss rush stages. Trial of the Firestorm. So I assume that's all enemies that have, I guess, I'm assuming it is part of the main story. So it looks like you have to have achieved the award of accepting Sebastian's challenge. Not sure if that's the original battle simulator or boss rush. And of course, you have to clear enough of the main story in order to do this trial, because a lot of these main story trials have bosses that are kind of introduced throughout the main story. And so obviously you can't fight the boss rush version if you haven't done the main version. Now that being said, there's also another one called Trial of Those Severed from Fate. So these are tied to some of the side episodes. So unfortunately for some of your newer players out there who hasn't done a lot of these side episodes, because there is just so much content out there, you may not have access to these battle simulator stages. But that being said, again, all content is permanent. And let's be honest, most boss rush stages, especially the extreme versions, are quite difficult, and you're better off probably waiting for either power creep or waiting for either content creators like myself or some of the other very talented ones out there to show you the way in terms of optimal clears, low turn, high DPS, and so on and so forth. And of course, for everyone who is wanting to summon for Cynthia AS, there is a standard Faithful 2x max. And of course, it will be under the regular encounters. And I'm assuming there should be a regular banner as well. It doesn't say anything here, which is very surprising. And I'm actually wondering if the regular banner will have both her and the normal style upgraded like a standard AS banner. So that's very interesting. Maybe they just forgot to put that there. And finally, for those who want to spend money on stones, pretty standard stuff. One of each of the 2200 instead of 2000 and 4500 instead of 4000 converted Chronostones packages. It only lasts for a couple weeks, so I assume that by the time that this package ends, so we should have another update after that. So looking forward to that as well. So let me know in the comments below what you think of the update. Are you planning to summon on AS Cynthia? Are you planning to even do some of the battle simulator or boss rush stages as well? For myself, honestly, I'm not sure how I feel about AS Cynthia. I don't think she's going to add a lot to my team. I think my wind DPS as well as my wind slash is quite powerful. And let's be honest, I do have quite a few of the slash zone setters plus the slash Grasta as well. So not sure she would add a lot. However, the completionist in me does want me to summon for it. So it's an internal battle, and I guess I'll let you know tomorrow how I feel about the situation. Maybe I'll be tempted, maybe I won't be. This banner actually, I think, lasts for... it should be 2 months, I believe. So I can always wait it out, and by the time the main story comes out, we are all saving for some of the new units in the main story. Maybe I'll do that first and then hold off on this, especially since there's probably no need for my getting her in the roster. As for the boss rush, I'm definitely going to be tackling the easy ones, and then obviously trying my hand at the extreme ones as well. For those who've been following the channel, I actually still haven't cleared the hard Kelkale, which is the super boss from chapter 3 of the Apocrypha. More on that later, but to make a long story short, it was frustrating for me to attempt it. I did a few tries, my team got wiped, and as many of you know, I try not to watch any other videos or look for any kind of information on the boss until I have a really good sense of beating it, or I've actually already beaten it. So maybe I just haven't thought it through enough, or to be honest, a little bit frustrating with some of the mechanics of the super boss fight. So I have put it on the back burner for now, and will attempt it, well, when I feel like it, I guess. But boss rush is always one that is frustrating and challenging, but not usually one I want to beat my head against a wall. Anyways, looking forward to everything, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.